Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy, and welcome to my channel about cross-stitch. Today is Saturday, February 5th, and it's been a few weeks. I actually kind of debated whether I was going to film today or not. As you can hear, I got a little bit of something going on. Hello. I really think it's just head cold. Though at first I was thinking maybe it was kind of the weather related, because we went from 40 degrees one day to like teens the next day and a snowstorm. So, figuring the fluctuation of the weather, my sinuses weren't too happy, and then it just turned into congestion. It's literally just all in my head, maybe literally. I really don't think it's anything more than that. So, of course, just as soon as I decided, okay, let's go ahead and get this filmed, all of a sudden I felt like I had to sneeze. Didn't actually come. So I'm a little more nasally than I was even 10 minutes ago. So hopefully we'll be able to get through this. We'll see. I am in desperate need of a haircut. My goodness. I have really thick hair, even though it tends to be on the shorter side. It's really thick. I have a lot of it, and lately it's just completely had a mind of its own. So one of these days I'm just gonna schedule actually getting a cut. It doesn't help that I have a hood on either. I do want to try to show this a little bit. Really cool cross stitch. Love the needle. My sister gave this to me for Christmas. Honestly, I have absolutely no clue where she got it from. All I know is that she was on the road with her husband, driving kind of in an area that didn't have a whole lot of service at the time. Ended up charging her, or placing her order twice. So she ended up keeping one for herself, gave me one for Christmas. My goodness, my hair. And of course, the more I play with it, the more static is just going to make it go everywhere. So yes, it's so comfy. Perfectly cozy. Goodness, where do we even go? So it's been 3 weeks since I filmed. Last weekend was just a busy weekend with family stuff. It was my nephew's birthday, and so just spending the day. Weekend got away from me before I had a chance to film, so here we are now. I have a finish. I have 3 new starts, and I've got some haul. We are going to try to not let that bug me too much. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and dive right into it, shall we? I hope everyone has been doing well, staying healthy. Stitches, my black cat. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see her running across the back. She's going crazy. I've got a coffee table right here beside me. My phone is on a pretty little ring light, and so she keeps walking on the table, and when I first started she was actually sniffing at my phone and everything, so it's been really funny. Alrighty, let's go right into it, shall we? My finish is Beg Your Pardon from Silver Creek Samplers. I love this piece. It is so freaking cute. It's small. I was looking at my calendar. It looks like I only spent 4, maybe 5 stitching days on it. It's really not that big, but it was such a fun piece. I did not have this main light gray in my stash for some reason. It's DMC 648, I think it is. No clue why I could not find it. Couldn't even find it in any of my stitch, works in progress bags or anything. Couldn't find it anywhere. But I was really wanting to start the piece, so I got the idea to do that in black instead. So I decided to keep the darker gray just to give it a little bit of pop of color rather than stitching all of that in black. But as I've already said, I've got a black cat, so we had to make it a little piece of a kind of in honor of her. Hopefully try not to drop anything here. But here's my finish. This is so cute. Look at that little teeny tiny mouse. It's adorable. So like I said, stitched it in black with a little pop of gray. It's even got little claws. So cute. DMC colors, but the words in this red, it was actually called for in a DMC and a brown. But the picture, where I put the, was looking like it was kind of in a red. I mean, just from here, it looks more red than it does brown. I guess looking at it in person looks more brown, but to me, it just looked like it was kind of a red shade. So you know what? I decided I wanted red. I don't remember the exact color number. 814, 815, kind of something like that. But really cute. There is another piece, kind of companion piece, called, there she goes, called Hissed Off, that I'd like to do, that maybe it'll fit here on this other half of the page. I don't know, or material. I don't know. I don't even have the pattern. It's in my stash. Stitches. Say hi. I love this little girl to pieces. Say hi, Stitches. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. This is Stitches. I adopted her from a rescue in 2018, and her name in the shelter was Dottie, and I mean, nothing wrong with the name, but that wasn't really, you know, something that was calling to me. And obviously I have an obsession with stitches, with cross stitch, and so I just decided, you know what, let's make her name Stitches. It did not take her long to adapt to the new name either, and I love her to pieces. She has been the best companion ever. So anything I can do black cat related, it's all in her name. Say hi, Stitches. And she's running off. So that is Beg Your Pardon. Just too cute. I love it. Alrighty, we need the iPad. So a new start that I had, I just started this actually Wednesday night, I think it was. In fact, I've only got the one evening's worth of stitching on it. This is found on the Owl Force Embroideries website. They've got a segment of freebie patterns, and so I got it off of there. It is, I believe it's called Starlings. I think that was the name right from the website, and I just love it. It is so pretty. It's just so dainty. I don't know what it is about it. I love it. But it's charted in their flosses, of course, and Stitches toys. She will play fetch. So it's charted in their flosses. I wasn't going to order anything, and then it's charted in it's converted to DMC, but I've got all kinds of hand-dyed flosses, so it's like, why not just convert it to hand-dyed? So I just basically went through the picture, and between the you know, the picture that I just showed you and the chart, which is in color, I was just kind of going off of, you know, what looks good, you know, what would be fun to convert it to. So it is literally just my own going through my stash and picking things out. So the birds are in this gorgeous blue variegated, and so I found it's Classic Colorworks Mermaid's Fin. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but there's just like the slightest hint of green throughout that is just really pretty. And then for like the flowers and the roof of the birdhouse, I'm using Color and Cotton Daffodil. And then for the house itself, like the slats going across, then this will be throughout some of the other places, I don't remember. This is Classic Colorworks Barrel Cactus. Oh well, that's what do focus. But it's just this really soft blue bluish green. It's really pretty. And then I found this one in my stash somewhere. I think it was in kind of a stitching box years ago. Romy's Creation in Pompeii Green. I can't tell if that's focusing. It doesn't look like that's focusing. But it's just this beautiful variegated greens. Kind of yellow tint, but green. Very pretty. And then the flowers and such, Cherries Jubilee from Color and Cotton, one of their older tags. Really pretty pinks. My floss ring from my next project got stuck to my needle binder. That was fun. And so here we are. Oh gosh, that color. It's not that yellow. It's just kind of a neutral. The material is from a Color and Cotton grab bag. I think I measured it out, and it's measuring out to be like between a 16 and an 18 count. So I think I counted it multiple times. Look at Stitches just sitting there chilling out. Coming out to like a 17 count, which I know isn't a thing. So probably just the dyed process shrunk a 16 count maybe. I don't know. But that's where we're at so far. So I got one bird, the body of one bird done. Still have to do the legs and beaks and all that good stuff, but it's pretty good representation of what it looks like, the color material. I've got the ring light on, but that is making things really, really yellow. Probably doesn't help that the lamp that I'm using has a yellowish cast to it. I don't know. But needle minder, I believe, if I remember right, this came from an Abby Top Knot Stitcher order. I think it was a freebie from her. So yeah, so I just, the whole reason why I started to do this one in the first place, Jessie from Mislaid Pages here on Flosstube as well as on Instagram has started a hashtag. I think she did it last year and then carried it on again this year. Hashtag Februaviary. So for the month of February, stitch all the birds. And I have been on such a stitch all the birds kick anyways that it is perfect for me. Anytime, every month, I'm always wanting to stitch something with birds. I don't even know why. I mean, it's not like I have a bird feeder that I love to watch the birds or anything. It's just there are so many freaking adorable birds out there that I just have to stitch them all. So yeah, so that's Starlings. Again, this is off of the Owl Forest Embroideries freebie site. So then the next new start that I have, I started this, it's been a couple weeks ago now. I was actually wanting to start it while I was on, while I had taken time off of work from recovery with my surgery that I'd had back in January. But I didn't have all of the flosses on hand, and I was going to do DMC, but then the conversion just wasn't going to give the variegation that I liked from the color, you know, from the picture. And so I decided to go ahead and order the Classic Colorworks, and so I wasn't able to start it necessarily in time like I was wanting to, but ended up getting it. Excuse me. It is Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches, and look, another bird. So of course this could still qualify for Februaviary. So the saying says, "Oh my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too." And I don't know, this is just kind of hit. I mean, we've all got, you know, dents and scratches, you know, just whether they're visible or not. This is just kind of hit closer to home within the past almost year. I've never needed any kind of medical stuff, you know, never needed surgeries and all that kind of stuff. And now here I've had 2 within the past, not even a year. And so, I don't know, those scars are kind of a little more prominent. I mean, obviously they're on my abdomen, so you're not going to see them anyways, but I'm just not used to having the scars that I currently have, you know, so it just kind of clicked home, I guess. I don't know, but that bird is just so cute. This piece is bigger than it looks, like, you know, because I guess maybe because of the chart, you know, comes so small, I guess maybe, and it's not like it all folds out. It's printed on two 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. But I don't know, it looks like it could be a smaller stitch, but it's not. It is quite large. But I'm okay with it. And here we go. Here is my start. So, let's just take the Q-snap right off. Not the whole thing, but we're just gonna take that one off. So I have Darling It's True. So of course, when I wanted to start, and then I decided to order the overdyed threads, to start in the middle was going to be right where, you know, one of these threads was at. So I couldn't even start it when I wanted to, even with the DMCs. So, there's my start. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Bestitch Me. And now I don't remember the colorway. Bear with me. We're going to try not to drop everything that I have laying here, because the project bag is underneath my haul. Ooh. Sorry. Kicked my ring light. It is a July neutral fabric of the month in Scroll. So Bestitch Me in Scroll. I knew I was gonna end up dropping something. So I think it's a beautiful piece of material. It's a decent size though. Like I said, it's not as small as you think. And then here are the classic colorworks. It does call for some DMC, and I'm using those. They're just in the bag. Those are on bobbins, but so where is it at? There it is. All of that takes up nearly one whole skein of classic colorwork in River Rock. This is a gorgeous gray, and that's part of why I wanted to go ahead and get the hand dyed, is because the look that this is giving me with the, I don't know how well that variegation is coming through. In person, it looks great. So I'm almost through one whole skein of that, just to have 2 full words and 2 letters of another word. But these are just going to be such pretty colors. I love them. So that is Beautiful Things, Lindy Stitches. iPad. 2 weeks ago now, I believe. On a whim, completely on a whim, I'm putting the enabling on Small Town Stitches. Leanne, I believe her name is. She's also a Michigander. Beautiful stitching. She is a full coverage stitcher after my heart. I guess because I ended up getting a nice tablet that I was able to get Pattern Keeper on, that has completely renewed my love of full coverage stitching. I think I got a little burnt out on full stitching for a little while after I made such a huge push to finish my Heaven and Earth Eagles. Love that piece, love stitching on it. I still miss stitching on it. I don't know if necessarily burned out is the word that I want to use, but also because that was such a focus for so long, I didn't stitch much small stuff or non-full coverage stuff. So really, I think a lot of it is the fact that I was ready to stitch on a lot of stuff that was not full coverage. But getting Pattern Keeper has most certainly, glasses have hair. Pattern Keeper has most certainly renewed that love of full coverage stitching. So back to my enabling. I was watching Leanne from Small Town Stitches one day, and like I said, I think this was 2 weeks ago today. She does a lot of a number of her projects are from the artwork of Donna Gelsinger from Heaven and Earth. And so I stopped watching her video, hopped over to the Heaven. I don't know why I stopped I don't know if I was using my phone instead of the iPad or something, but ended up jumping, for some reason I paused her video, went over and looked at all of Donna Gelsinger's artwork specifically, found a pattern I liked, bought it, kitted it up. I had like half of the floss in my stash, and in the upper left-hand corner where I was starting, I didn't have like any of the colors that I needed. Of course not. So off to Michael's I went, and they ended up having every single floss color that I needed. Like, I got the entire thing kitted up. Had a big enough piece of material in stash, and I got it started. And then I got obsessed with it. And I know I've got over 2,000 stitches. Last time I looked, I know it was over 2,000 stitches. The tablet with Pattern Keeper is on the charger at the moment, so I was going to look at it, but it's like, oh, wait, it's over there. Anyways, what pattern did I decide to get? It is called Mini Serenity Lane, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Heaven and Earth. It's just so pretty. I love the colors. It reminds me a lot of a Thomas Kincaid pen, design. But the artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. And like I said, it's the mini version. I'm feeling like I gotta sneeze again, of course. So now just make me stuffed up. So I love this piece. It's just so pretty. So I've started up here in this corner. Excuse the sniffles. And here we go. Like I said, I just got obsessed with it. So I've got that tree done, like pretty much done up to here, where you can see the gaps. And then I've just really been focusing on that sky. Oh, that was just such a pretty background and everything. So the steeple is starting to come in on this. I don't know if that's I guess it's be a church. There's a bell tower. So 16 count, full cross, 2 strands. I think I've mentioned the other sizes. Yeah. So I love it. It's just so pretty. And I forget now what the dimensions were going to be, but I've got it all rolled up. I don't really want to unroll all of that. I mean, it's not going to be huge. It is not going to be my Eagles by any means. And that's why I'm really liking the mini patterns right now, is I just don't have it in me right now to do yet another giant piece that's the size of my Eagles. Not to mention the fact that I don't have the wall space to put anything like that. Back to the iPad. So, last night I got January completed. I have not started February at all. This is Christie's Corner Bookcase 2. I believe it is. Temperature Bookcase 2. Each shelf represents a month of the year. Each book represents a day of the month. And then there's all kinds of little doodads all around. Knickknacks and all that kind of stuff. What was I gonna say? Words. Oh, so the chart, like she has listed in there for her area, and it's like 4-degree increments, but it doesn't, her area does not get as cold as Michigan. And I think her chart stopped at like 40 degrees. Well, if I kept with that chart, then everything would just be one solid color, you know, for under 40 degrees. And so I expanded the chart. I don't have the flosses handy just because the way I have all of the bobbins, I've got like 20 colors pulled, and there's just no easy way to be able to see it. But it does go in a progression of a pretty rainbow that, so the coldest temp that she had was in a red range, kind of like the 814, 815, something like that. So I went with pinks, gradiating, you know, getting colder. So my entire January bookshelf is pink, and it looks so pretty. And there we go. It's still partially on the Q-snap, but so like I said, I got January's all done, and then started adding more to the bookcase. So February, I can start on February. Some of the books I have added back stitching. I just grabbed a 535, I think it is, DMC, just kind of a gray, just to give it some dimension, just because when, again, because these are in like 4-degree increments, if, you know, back-to-back days were within, you know, that same range, then the books would just kind of blend into each other. So I did backstitch those. Yeah, and then I decided there's a little knickknack right here. It's charted to have a Fabergé egg, which is really pretty. I may put that elsewhere. But I did buy there's a pack also sold of all kinds of little knickknacks that you can use, you know, to personalize the bookcase. We got hit with a bunch of snow, like I said, mentioned earlier, and it's just been within the past couple of days. So if I was trying to be real accurate, that would be a February thing. But I don't know, I just got an idea popped into my mind to add in a snowflake, and that is using, I don't know how well it's gonna focus. The snowflake here is in Diamant, that DMC. Excuse my reads here. I should have had it handy, but DMC Diamant in D321, and it is red. I've got peels on there to keep it from unraveling all, but it was really pretty red. So I don't know how well that's actually going to come through. I borrowed the snowflake off of Bendy Stitchy's Yule Ball. Just something that I knew would fit in that little space, and just to give it a little bit of sparkle and personalization, because winters in March are snowy usually. And so I just decided to give it that little sparkle. I have no clue what I'm going to put anywhere else. There is a black cat and charted in the knickknack bunch. Of course, I'm probably going to have to find a way to add that in. Maybe I'll add it into, I was going to say maybe I'd add it into May, but I don't know that that would fit in May. I don't know, we'll have to find out. Stitch's birthday is in May. Maybe I could do March, because I adopted her in March. I don't know, we'll see. Another one that I saw, I've seen somebody stitching this on Instagram. I don't remember who it is at the moment. But there's a plant in the knickknacks that they put a plant sitting on top, and it's like where the foliage of the plant drapes down. It is so cool looking. I'm not a plant person, but I think that one looks really cool. So yeah, like I said, we've got a pink January shelf. I was looking at the rest of the threads to see like when the things start heating up a little bit, and once we get into the 40s and plus, it's going to get into red, like deep red, and going from there. And I can't wait till we can get some of those shades put in here, because we've had I think 35 or 38 might have been the warmest we've had so far this month. Well, January. So I'll be ready to get into some warmer temps, that's for sure. Alrighty, so my last whip that I have to share, actual whip, like I said, full coverage. I've been obsessed. This is Mini Midnight Messenger. Artwork is by Ann Stokes, charted by Heaven and Earth. Oh, one thing, and I try to say this each time, if you are trying to look for this on Heaven and Earth's website, it is going to be, Messenger is spelled slightly different. It's Messanger, just in case you're trying to find it. So this is another piece that actually fits for Mislaid Pages February Aviary, because we got 2 owls. So I just realized what I did, because the picture I just showed has the watermark, whereas this one does not. Maybe I'll change that so that we've got the watermark showing. I just took a screenshot from the pattern picture, you know, the cover page of Messenger, not Messenger, Serenity Lane. And here we go. Another 16 count, 2 strands full cross. I've got 1 page completely done, and I am going like crazy on page 2, and goodness, can you see the detail of that. Just, you know, when you're stitching it right in front of you, yep, I can see there's the tree, but when you hold it up and look at it through the screen, the dimension of like being able to see kind of like deeper into the forest behind the tree, I don't know if that makes any sense, but goodness, that is just looking amazing. I don't know if I said or not, but this is the Mini Midnight Messenger. Again, it's the smaller version. I mean, it's gonna be decent size, don't get me wrong, but it is definitely the mini edition. I don't remember how many stitches I have done on it. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me, I had posted when I hit 10,000 stitches. So I know I'm over 10,000 stitches. It's at like the 13% mark. That's about all I remember. I do know that somewhere, actually I think it's over here. I don't remember now where it was at. Maybe it was up in here. I have passed the halfway of the whole piece. If you've seen on Heaven and Earth where it does give you the center point at the top, I know that somewhere I've passed it slightly, I think, just by maybe these handful of stitches somewhere. Nowhere quite near the edge of page 2, but I've at least passed the halfway mark. So I don't know, when you get those little milestones of full coverage pieces, you gotta kind of celebrate that. Feeling like I gotta sneeze again. So onto the haul. A digital pattern that I did buy, and I'm always seeming to buy digital patterns on Etsy or something, but I don't necessarily always share every single one of those. And they're one of those things, if I kind of buy it and it gets put into my stash, in my Dropbox or whatever, or if I do share it, it's because I've already started it and such. But last weekend there was from the Facebook group Full Coverage Fanatics, somebody had posted this picture that they decided that they wanted to stitch in honor of Meatloaf, the performer. It was a skeleton on a motorcycle. I think Meatloaf had a song, Hell on Wheels or something. I don't really remember. I know I was seeing whatever the title of that song is in the headlines when he passed. And so my sister is big into motorcycles, and she's got one of her own and everything. And so I was showing her that picture. It was by Pain Free Crafts. So when she was wanting to know how to buy it, how could she go about getting it, I was roaming through the website because I haven't stitched anything from Pain Free. And when I'm saying that, it's Paine Free Crafts. I think it's the person's last name. I cut off the logo, but it's painfreecrafts.com maybe. I was scrolling through all of the different patterns just to see if anything caught my eye. Excuse me. And it did. And this is called Dragonfly Clock. Dragonfly Clock. It's gonna be another beautiful one. Those flowers are just so pretty. It's gonna be a fun one. So I bought that. I was on 123 the other day, 123 Stitch, to see about getting a piece of material large enough to start stitching it, because now I don't have anything in stash, definitely to stitch that. And that's not a giant piece. That's probably going to be about the size of my minis, I think. So even though it's not labeled as mini or anything like that, it's not as giant as like a regular size Haid. So alrighty, rest of my haul here. This would have been January's Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club. I don't remember what I'm in anymore, because it's not, I think maybe it's, I feel like it's every other month is neutrals and then colors. Neutrals, I don't know. Because when I see other people talk about getting their fabric, I feel like I'm not seeing other people getting the same ones that I am. So I don't know what I'm in. But this is called Coconut Shell. Goodness, I don't know if that's, I feel like that's just not focusing. But this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. That's true color right there. Beautiful, beautiful brown. No clue what I'm going to put on it, but it's stunning. And then, I don't know, a week or two ago, I had somebody, in chit-chatting with somebody, ended up getting sent the Bird Crush. This is January, so if this is out there already. But the Bird Crush Club from Lindy Stitches. The thing is gorgeous. I love it. So this is January's Stellar's J. So they finished stitching, and because I was not able to get into the January club, they graciously passed their January one on to me, and then also included the floss. So this is Threadworks Grass is Green. So really pretty, variegated, and I obviously for the greenery. I may or may not have gotten the February. It just got delivered today. I am not going to show it because it is so brand new. I don't want to spoil it for anybody yet. So I'll share it in my next video, just because by then it'll be out on the socials and everything. People will, I'm sure, have started stitching it by then. It's too new. I don't want to share it just yet, even to give spoiler alerts, but it's so cute. But yes, so thank you so much to that person for sharing it. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not planning on being in it for the entire year, rest of the year or anything like that, but I figured I'd get a few of the months because, again, birds, I gotta stitch them all. Again, birds, gotta stitch them all. More stash. I have not yet done a Mill Hill kit. I have stitched with beads. Not necessarily my favorite thing to do, but this is just too pretty. It's so cool. So it's the entire kit. It comes with the beads and the floss. There's even a little bat charm, so like that little thing right there is actually a charm. So yeah, we'll start that at some point. That I got from one of my favorite LNS's, Stitches and Things out of Fenton. I've got to go, one of these days, I've got to go do some in-person shopping there. It's been ages since I've been there. And then I also got October 31. This is from, this is last year's Time for All Seasons series from Cottage Garden Samplings. Are we seeing a theme here? Birds. I highly doubt that Jesse's watching me, but Mislaid Pages, February. It's all about the birds. In fact, even more. This really is all about the birds. So another chart, I have been wanting this for a while now. I love it. It's Luminous Fiber Arts, Gathering Snowflakes. There's a few different ones out now, gathering different, I don't know if they're necessarily seasonal, but it's just so cute. And look, it's got more birds. So as I've been going through so it's charted in, I don't know that I'm even going to be able to say it. I was looking on the back to see if it actually said right there, but it wasn't. Classic Colorworks, Belle Soie, silks. So I was looking at that. $8 a skein. I'm like, I don't want to spend $8 on one skein of floss. I don't need to have the fancy silks. But my goodness, do I love that variegation. So I have been on the hunt for the perfect blue because I couldn't find how to convert this into anything else. It's charted DMC Alternative 930, but of course DMC is not going to give you that variegation. So I have been shopping, looking for that perfect blue. You know, because why spend $8 for one skein when you can spend however much on multiple skeins? Because when you're shopping for a skein of floss on, you're getting this little this little teeny tiny picture. You can't tell just how variegated something is. So I went on the hunt. Either I'm missing a color. I'm missing a color. I know what I did. I think. There it is. I knew I had another color out there. See? Why spend $8 on one when you can spend, $20 on multiples? That's my logic, right? So I got Classic Colorworks Deep Blue Sea. Really pretty. I don't have a piece of just plain white to really show. And then Gentle Art Presidential Blue. This is really going to be pretty close. Really variegated. Really pretty. And then I ended up on Forbidden Fiber Co.'s flosses because they have such gorgeous flosses. I love her stuff. So this is Forbidden Fiber in Indigo. And I may have a winner right here with this one. I feel like you cannot see that one bit. But I'm really thinking that that's probably going to be upside down. That one may be my winner right there, about as close as I'm going to be able to get to that. But then I also have Forbidden Fiber in, it's a one of a kind in Beta. This one's got more green in it than, but again, just going off of it's a beautiful color. Screens, wasn't quite sure what I was going to be getting. And then, 2 flosses from a hand-dyed company can't travel alone. So I was just going through the website. This color looks pretty. This color looks pretty. Let's get this one. So these are just for my stash, nothing in particular. But we've got Purple Rain. And this has got some really pretty pinks, purples and blues. And then we've got Quarantine. and greens. And then we've got Nightlock. I don't know if that's going to focus. Really, really pretty mauve, I guess. And then we've got Jade. Really, really bright green. And we've got Fruit Punch. Really bright pink. So, March, it's already been announced that Michelle Bendy, Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitches, and Erin Two Martini Stitcher are hosting their birthday sale for Quirky Quakers from Darling and Whimsy Designs. So all month long, stitching the Quirky Quakers. So these may be some fun colors to add. Those Quirky Quakers are, I love them to pieces. They are great quick finishes, you know, start and finishes. You can do them in a wide variety. You know, they're a great piece to be able to use a monochrome floss like that. So maybe seeing some of those again next month. I already went through Darling and Whimsy on Etsy and went through my Dropbox and, you know, what I've stitched, what I have on hand. I think I figured out that there are currently 17 released, and I have stitched 3 of them, and I could be wrong about that number. I know I've stitched 3. Yes, there are 17 of them. With technically, she's got a seahorse that it's, the chart is like so that it's a mirror image. So technically, you could say 18 of them. So I've got my list. I figured out which ones I have in my stash. So I may be purchasing some other ones so that, because I want to stitch them all. Like the birds, got to stitch all the Quirky Quakers. I'm already picturing in my stitchy notebook, stitchy journal, kind of because it's a bigger journal that I can fit multiples on the page. And like I've printed out from her, printed out the paper charts where I can be able to take out, you know, there's a portion where it's got like her logo, and then like for the fox, give you an example of that one because I've already stitched the fox. So there's like the Darling and Whimsy name, and then there's a little icon of a fox sitting in there, right there with it, that I want to like cut that out and tack it along with my, I don't know, just, I'm already getting ideas of how I want to do some layout with that, and which I'm kind of getting the itch to do some more finishing of that. I know Michelle's thinking of tomorrow morning, her next Twitch stream. She's going to be finishing a couple of pages in her journal. So maybe I'll sit down and work on my own while she's, you know, doing that. So I don't know. But I think that is everything for the past 3 weeks, since it's been a little while since I've been here. Yeah. Things are going well with me, besides, you know, congestion. I have not felt this good since before my first surgery, May of 2021. Honestly, I was speaking with somebody work related. Again, I don't really talk about what I do for work, but I was speaking with somebody through work and over the phone, and he knows some of what I've been through, not the extent, but he knows that I've had some rough times, and, you know, kind of in that whole, how you doing thing. And it's like, you know, I am feeling better than I have in a really long time. And he says, you know what? I can tell. And this is just somebody that I'm talking to over the phone. I have never met this person face to face, but he can tell, or he told me that he could tell that. Say hi. You know, this person that I've never talked to in person, that he says that he could tell that I'm already doing better. So it's just, it's an amazing feeling to know how much better I am than I was at one point. And I don't remember if I mentioned in my last video about how the surgeon, this past surgery, the surgeon had taken time to clean out a lot of scar tissue that had happened as a result of the first one. And I really think that what he did, like, it was that scar tissue collecting that made me feel so bad, because there was just this unexplained pain in my stomach that I couldn't pinpoint. There were days that I couldn't even stand up straight really early on. And I had gone back to the original surgeon and I was explaining these things, and she had sent me for a couple of scans, ultrasounds, didn't find anything, and it basically left it to, at one point, we'll see you back in 3 months and, you know, we'll see how you're doing then. Like, didn't seem to care, didn't seem to want to investigate why I was feeling the way that I was. Well, now it's, so today's Saturday. Monday will have been a month since my second surgery, and I'm already feeling so much better, like normal, than I did after that first surgery when I was in such horrific pain that I needed to have the surgery. So it's just amazing how much better things have gone this time around. So I really, really appreciate all of the well wishes. I know last time, my last video, I still have a number of comments that I have not replied to. I've read everybody's, I just have not replied to you. So I apologize for that. But I really appreciate all of the warm wishes and everything that people have shared with me. It's amazing how much better I am feeling this time around, and I'm very thankful for it. We'll be ready to get rid of the congestion. It's just been a couple of days. I know it's just got to run its course. I really don't think that it's anything more than just some congestion. I'm feeling good. You know, it's not like I've got fevers and body aches and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's literally just in my nose. So, but I think we are going to end this. I have not had this long of a video in I don't know how long. Pretty sure that my whip parade took me this long. But yeah, I think that's it. Plans, stitch all the birds. That's what we're gonna do. You know me by now. I can say all the plans that I want and then just not follow through with anything. Who knows? I'm trying to do whip go. I finished one block, the other one, haven't really felt like wanting to work on that piece. The ones for February, right? That's the month we're in. Is Lindy Stitches We 3, so more black cats, and Moonshine, so Silver Creek samplers. And I'm just realizing how like pale this light is making me look. I'm not this pale. I don't know, but who knows. Anyways, I think that's it that I have for this week. It's been a bit of time trying to play catch up, so I hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're getting in lots of stitching. Keep stitching. Stay safe, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.